Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this video. What I'm going to be touching on in this topic is whether or not, basically, who best to contact in regards to selling your recruitment service. Should it be the hiring manager or should it be a HR talent acquisition function? There are a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people in the recruitment sector that do say contact hiring managers. And I'm going to explain why they don't know what they're talking about, why they don't get the results I get in terms of client acquisition, and also why they're stuck in the past. And I'll explain why they even say contact hiring managers. Now, to be clear, some companies will or you'll have success when you contact a hiring manager. However, it's a question of who is best to contact within every organization. If you've watched any of my videos on my channel, I actually have a live code call where I closed a client that was actually a hiring manager. So, eating my own words, I've proven that contacting a hiring manager, you can win business. However, 99%, or I would say that's a bit of an exaggeration, 85% of the time, the HR manager will be involved and approve. I'll explain why. The hiring manager's job is to do their job. Let's take, for example, let's say they're an accountant and they're, let's say, chief of finance. Their job is to run the team. They get a vacancy pop up. Yeah. They go to their HR and say, look, can you advertise this role and find someone? I need them urgently. The HR's function in the job is to make sure all the staff are happy. I mean, I've never done the job, but make sure they're all happy. New starters, onboard them. Anyone leaving, do the exit interviews. Any compliance issues, make sure everything's done. Do you really think a HR manager is going to be, or a hiring manager is going to be doing background checks? Sure, they're the decision maker with the hiring. However, 9 times out of 10, that the hiring manager is interviewing with the HR manager because they're going to ask certain questions that the hiring manager knows nothing about. They haven't had the training. So the HR function came about within organizations. It was imported from America about 20 years ago, and it's been implemented into every business. It maximizes efficiency. Yeah. Only small businesses will have a hiring manager that will be the decision maker, but the HR function will be replaced by the chief executive or the owners of the business. Yeah. Why people say to contact the hiring manager is a good question. Going back 10, 15, 20 years ago, companies in the UK, recruiters would call them, they would speak to the hiring manager and they would say, these are our personnel requirements. These are who we need as staff. Yeah. What would happen then is they would do a deal with the recruiter. Often not, sometimes they'll be calling the recruiters asking for staff. That's how unsaturated the market was until now. And they would get the brief, they would recruit, and the hiring manager would have the budget approval. Now, every company has a HR function and they deal with it. So let's say, for example, you go to a hiring manager and you email them and they say, yeah, I've got a vacancy. I need let's say an accounts assistant. Great. I've already just put it to HR and they haven't found me anyone. I've got a recruiter saying they're going to find me someone. Great. Okay, send me your terms of business. You send it across. They get it. They look at it and go, what the hell is this? I've got to sign a contract. Okay, great. Let me go to HR. Maybe they'll know. They go to HR. HR says, no, we haven't got a budget. You're sitting there. The hiring manager isn't getting back to you. Yeah. He isn't replying to your emails. And you think, oh, great. Recruitment doesn't work. I can't do anything. Yeah. And this leads it down to the HR manager knowing they're the heart of the business, or so they say. And they know what goes in, who's staff, who's in, who doesn't show up. They approve annual leaves. Their job is to deal with recruitment. Now, a lot of people will say HR are your competition, which I disagree with. HR are not competition. Talent acquisition is competition. So the HR, briefly explain what their function is within the organization. It's to make sure all the staff are in place that's needed to be. Yeah. The hiring manager is to run their department, not to recruit. HR do all of it. Yeah. Talent acquisition is slightly different. Now, the talent acquisition's function is to recruit new staff. That's it. No, possibly onboarding, some little miscellaneous tasks like that. Onboarding, a bit of compliance maybe, but it will still run by a HR function as well later on. Background checks. They are your competition. Yeah. However, different talent acquisition teams are put in place to save the company hiring money, maximize efficiency. So let's say a company are spending $250,000 a year to recruitment agencies to hire developers, let's say. And the finance director says, hold on a minute, we can save a lot of money if we employ 2 talent acquisition staff and we pay them £50,000 each. We will save 150k. In fact, for those really hard to fill positions, we can give them a budget of £50,000 and then they can use that how they want. So they have control of budget sometimes. They may have to run it by, the finance director, but they will have approval to spend budget. However, if they spend too much budget, and I mean, it's a crazy function and all the businesses work differently. If they spend the budget, they don't have anything else. So they are sometimes the decision makers. Usually it's a talent acquisition lead, recruitment manager. They are competition essentially, or your competition to them. You can make them look bad, but they want you to help support the business. We are not looking to grab their money. We are looking to support people's business. So I hope that briefly explains and makes a bit more sense as to why HR are 90% of the time. The only difference I find is government organizations HR do not deal with so much on the recruitment side. Yeah. And the benefit is a hiring manager 9 times out of 10 will not be less available than a HR person because they've got their daily function as well. Would you rather deal with a chief of finance as a hiring manager, or would you rather deal with a HR person that's sitting at their desk all day and waiting for applicants to come in, and when you send it across, that's great. So touching on the points I've raised, you're looking at HR managers. Yeah, I will always target them. If anything changes, you need to move with the adaptation of the recruitment industry. Soon it might just be talent acquisition people that we have to be contacting, or we might have to, the question will get raised is people saying, would you ever go to a chief executive? And, I would say 20-30% of the time, sometimes I do. And 9 times out of 10, the email gets forwarded on and it will get actioned. But if you can find a chief executive in a large company, chances are they've got a personal assistant that manages their inbox. So it doesn't actually reach them as well. So 9 times out of 10, that's going down a black hole. HR's person, HR managers, recruitment leads, recruitment managers, they're the people you really need to be contacting. They have the budget, they know what's going on, and they have the authority to approve. A chief executive hires a HR person to deal with the onboarding, the recruitment, the agencies. They don't want to deal with the agencies, they want them to deal with it. So I hope that explains, I hope it answers a few of your questions. Let me know your thoughts. People are going to say, yeah, I've closed deals. But if you're listening to people that are saying contact hiring managers and you're buying their courses and you're spending money on it, really and truly, they're all phonies. They don't know what's going on. And the bottom line is, it's HR's job and you need to be contacting them. They are the decision makers. So I hope that helped. Let me know if you've got any questions and take care.